Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. This is just a video of me going over the Labyrinth and the shop of the Labyrinth. So this is the shop of the Labyrinth, let me speak, blah. So you can get 10 diamonds out of it, you can get the new card. So this card here, which I already got, so I can't even inspect it, which is lovely. And all of these other rewards here. This chest here, it's not actually the best. It's all luck, you only get one as well, which isn't, the rewards, nah, subpar. But I want to get over how you actually obtain these rewards. So first let's head on to the Labyrinth. So after you complete every floor of the Labyrinth, floor 1, 2 and 3, you then end up in the Underground Labyrinth Depths, which is after floor 3 and you can keep repeating it as much as you want. But after completing every single one of these stages, you'll get a certain amount of the currency. So there is another way to obtain this currency. You don't have to complete the Labyrinth to do it. After you defeat certain stages, there is a small chance, very small chance, that you can also obtain some, like very little. I think I spent like quite a few hours doing the Labyrinth because I got really bad RNG until I got this insane run. And I ended up had about 150. You need about 300, 250 for the card. So I would say mainly you want to focus on the card first, then get the diamonds. Of course, you know, it's up to you. You can go for the diamonds first, then the card. But the card might be used in a decent card set. And also, the stats on the card are very, very good, giving you 99 attack, 160 defense, and 985 HP, which is quite good. And it puts it in my top cards that I have. It's really good for attack. It's got the max attack stat. I think it's got max HP. Not sure about defense. But let's get into it. Let's just show you what team I'm using. So, the team I'm running. You know, it's not the best. I didn't get the ultimate one. I didn't even get him. This team here, I obtained all of it by floor 2. I got Barn on the second pick. On the first floor, Green Escanor was first floor, Arthur was first floor, and I got Death Pierce on the second floor. But the reason, you're probably wondering, you know, I don't have level 100, they're not SA6. The reason I was able to do it is because of all these passives. 10% increased HP, 150% HP, 20% HP, 100% HP. You know, 150% attack, which is good for these two characters here on the side. Decreased damage taken by attack skills. Whenever I gain ult gauge for each human, I get more, like, all stats. Bear in mind, these are all stats. This is very useful. And then, of course, damage reduction taken from attack skills, which is also very useful. The fact that I have damage reduction from attack skills makes it much easier for my characters to tank, especially 120% damage, less damage taken. So the reason I have this team, I suggest, firstly, my suggestion for doing the Labyrinth itself is you pick one racer character, either unknown or human. Demons are not the best, there's not many good DPS demons. I actually picked Camilla, and I was surprised. After you get a few attack buffs, it's very good. One of my friends was able to do it with Sigurd, the ultimate one, Red Brynhild. I don't actually remember who he had in the back. I don't think he had Red Arthur in the back. So yeah, he had a decent human team. Human teams are probably the most consistent, because you know, you can go for HP buffs and go for Barn, build like this really makeshift Barn team where the only person really buffing him is Arthur, which is 15% all HP related stats to humans, and you've got Death Pierce, which is of course lowering the enemy's crit chance and crit defense, which is really what you would like, just so Barn can crit. It also helps, you know, Escanor crit here. Escanor's actually very good. The fact that he gets immunity at 5 ult gauge means that for some bosses, the weak point effect, completely useless. He doesn't take the weak point damage. But I'm going to get onto it, showing you all of these stages. So yeah, let's get into it. So a lot of these stages are either debuff immune or they have their own like semi sort of gimmick thing, like this one here. This is the first one. For every buff you have, it has a certain percentage of damage reduction. But you may need to farm this. Bear in mind, you may actually need to farm this a few times just to be able to get all the rewards. I think I farmed this about 3 or 4 times, and I've just got the diamonds as well as the card as well. So you will have to bear in mind. You can farm this after you complete it. You can do start from, there's a section, or a bit that you can select when you start the Labyrinth again, which is start from the depths, which is this one here. Instead of having to start from floor 1, you can just keep farming it from the depths bit. You keep your team identical, you still keep all the passes, like everyone's like taking no damage, which is really good. The reason I'm not using buffs here, or Bond's buff exactly, is because if having buffs does increase his heavily increases his stats. Unfortunately, I couldn't help getting these buffs. These are like passive buffs pretty much, but I'm not going to go for any more, as going for any more would, of course, give him a lot more damage reduction. Also, the reason I think Arthur is actually a very good character on the human team, even as just a back unit, HP-related stats. So humans are known for not having the best HP-related stats, but of course, because of Arthur, 15% is quite a bit. course, you know, Escanor did just lose all his buffs because of his stupid passive that removes all buffs as well as all debuffs, which is sort of fair in a sense. But of course, grey debuffs still the same thing. Let's check out Escanor's HP. Yeah, Escanor rocking 300k HP. It's very good. We'll just use these, and then I'll move this for the extra Barn buff because it's not an actual buff. It's a great buff. A Barn is very good. This isn't the best speed team for this. Okay, if you want to farm it, if you want a speed team, you want the ultimate one. The ultimate one with like an attack passive can practically speed wipe it. The boss at the end can be a little bit troublesome if your team isn't that tanky because it pretty much ult rushes on you. It has a very powerful AoE ultimate, which is weak point. Just moving cards, this year's dead anyway. Very good, there we go. But some of these, the next one I believe has like a freeze thing. So, you know, there's no, also, you can't gain any passives on this. So there's no pickables, so you can't pick character or levels or anything like that. The levels you get are just naturally from doing these. You get the odd heal here and there, but of course, if you do have a decent team, you can either one-turn the boss, or with Barn and Arthur and my passives, you know, I can heal quite a bit naturally, which is really what you want. You don't really want to have to be relying on like a Brynhild ultimate or Skadi, because when I did this, I was actually using my first run. I got to my L. I had the Red Diane at the start, which you can pick, which is she's actually very good. I'm not gonna lie. Skadi and Blue Matrona. Blue Matrona buffs not demons, giant basic stats by 20%. So she's actually very good. The reason I start with one of each card is so I can get the 45% all stats from the passive. Also, if you do have several buffs, you can actually pick, you know, the buff passive I have that gives me one buff, you can pick several of them and they will stack. You could pick a 15% and a 20%, or if you get two 20%, you can stack to 20%, which is actually very good. Of course, he pulled a stun and it's freezing. Okay. What is this, man? This has not happened before at all. My guy just froze and stunned my team. What is this? So I'm not sure if any of the bosses do have damage caps. Some of them may have damage caps, some may not. I do know the final boss does have a... What is this? He's never done this ever. You know, normally he's only frozen once before. This is really irritating. But yeah, normally the boss none of the other bosses have what I would consider a gimmick, apart from the fact that you know, there's a res at the end on the final one. The final one's also very strong. It has a lot more HP than the others. Arthur can also do a lot of damage because not only when he crits, but you know, still decent. If you are going to do this, it does cost you 30 stamina every time you do want to restart it, so do bear that in mind as well. He's probably going to freeze him. He's just going to freeze him because he's just solo attacking him. Yeah, I don't understand. Like, bro, this boss is just this boss is actually the worst one out of all of them. The final boss is because I have so much HP. This final boss isn't too bad. This one also has a revive as well, I forgot to say. But most of them don't have any gimmicks. Most of them are completely debuff immune. You get the odd ones that are not debuff immune, so weak point does work. But the only real good debuff character I can think of is probably Brynhild, Red Brynhild. Mono, do not pick green Mono. I thought she'd be good, but she is very bad. Giants aren't too bad. Don't pick Purgatory Melee. He's horrible. There's not many good demons at all. The best demon is probably Green Cell, and his passive doesn't even work, so... You know, all fun. I'm just going to do this, just because I want my Escanor to lifesteal as much as possible, so if I give him all the stat increase, he should just be able to do more damage and lifesteal a little bit more. 10k isn't that much, but of course he will heal a lot from Barn anyway, so it's not really that big of a problem. Poison... You know, I think I do have a lot of HP. But if you do get the ultimate one, if this was the ultimate one, I could just one-turn it. But of course, it is not the ultimate one, I'm unable to one-turn. But Barn is still very good. His ability to heal the entire team is very broken, especially if you mix that with, like, you know, Arthur giving HP-related stats as well. Because lifesteal is a very bad stat for humans, especially the older humans. Like, I think Escanor has like 3% lifesteal at SA6. This Escanor has 3% lifesteal without the Arthur buff, which gives him 15%. But mainly sticking to one race, sometimes you do get really bad RNG. I had a lot of runs where, like, I think I only got so this is like my third run, which I got with Barn. My first run, did not get a single human passive, like at all. You can reset and just never get a human passive, bro. I keep getting fairies or demons. Demon ones, and I'm like, oh, for every debuff you do more damage. Well, guess what? Mael can't be debuffed, so good luck trying to do that. Oh no, Mael can be debuffed, but sometimes it's just not even worth it. Always play these cards. A lot of these bosses are actually very cool. The final boss at the end is super sick, and I don't know why it's not like an actual event boss instead of being just in the Labyrinth. I don't understand why it can't just be an event boss. It's so sick. It's got a whole ultimate animation. Really cool. I do hope they add more stuff like that. They did also show several pictures in the patch notes of the bosses, but I'm not sure if that's the bosses you verse here. Because there are, these are all bosses, so to say. They're not like actual bosses, but he removed buffs. That's unfortunate. He is dead though. Escanor can hit very hard if he crits, but of course his crit chance is very low, even with Death Pierce lowering crit resistance, some of these enemies can still survive. Barn, on the other hand, doesn't really care, still hits very hard. But of course with Barn, turn 1 damage isn't really a thing, and there are some bosses, I think there's about 1, maybe 2 bosses, that don't actually have an old gauge bar, means your damage is very flat. Which isn't really the best. But of course when you do farm this, do bear in mind that the amount you get per run will vary because it's all luck based. I think this is the one that actually doesn't have the ult gauge, not speaking about it. Yeah, this one doesn't have ult gauge, it means Barn's damage will just be flat damage, means you can use the detonate card whenever, and the damage will still be the same. Of course, having his passive buffs will increase the damage, but there's no, like, detonate bonus, which is the main reason Barn's card is actually super broken. They still do decent damage. Of course, you know, Red Escanor is also very good. If you do get the passive that buffs you for every card you use, Red Escanor would also be very good because he gives himself immediately 50% all HP related stats. That includes lifesteal as well, which is a super good stat for humans. I'm going to do... Actually, no. I'm going to do this, this, and then this. Barn's not going to be doing that much. Arthur, when he crits, it's so hard, even against the final boss. There we go. There's the kill. Very strong. Most of these bosses don't have much HP, but the final one, which has around 460, 470k, with a 50% revive. Do bear that in mind, he does have a 50% revive. So what I like to do is, if possible, just try to kill him on the second turn, rush an ultimate. He will ult. His ultimate can hit very hard because it's a weak point AoE, and he does more damage because he's got a bunch of passives, so that makes you do more damage to debuffed enemies. But my team can survive. Green Escanor can tank it very well. Even being such an old character like himself. You can see, like, 29% crit chance isn't that high. He's got 2% lifesteal with that Arthur, which is actually insane. All my characters are 2/6, so I've not got, like, everyone's 6/6. I didn't go for any... My majority of the time, I was literally just going for passives to buff stats. I was going for passives or trying to get the ultimate one. And when I couldn't get the ultimate one, I would be looking at passives, because passives are a big part in this. If you can get, like, the best team ever, but if you don't have good passives, you're still screwed. Because... this is like playing ungeared. Like, my CC is like playing ungeared. But my ungeared CC would probably be higher than this, because box CC and all that, the constellation stuff is taken into account. In this, not really. But they most of the time they will just target either Arthur or Escanor. They just never target Barn. I think that's because Barn's stats are so high in comparison to the other two. Barn also hits very hard and just completely nukes. Also, when I was talking about Camilla, I did have 2 attack buffs with Camilla. She is very good with 2 attack buffs. Of course, with her ultimate being with the ability to heal. When she went, so if you do not know, when Camilla ults, she full heals when she transforms, which is really good. Also, she is hit 5 times. She does also give you the ultimate. She deletes a card and gives you an ultimate, which is very good. But only deletes her cards, means if you don't have any cards for her, you still will not get the ultimate, which is kind of sad. But it was kind of cool using her. She was decent. I've seen also people use the champion melee or hostess list. Hostess list isn't too bad, but if you're going for like a good run and you want to get like Purgatory Barn, for example, I'm not going to spend 20 minutes every time defeating the first 2 stages to then not get Purgatory Barn, or to get like a demon passive and then Purgatory Barn, and the demon passive does nothing. Of course, you could then later on get a bunch of good passives, and if you do get Barn, I still do recommend, even if you do get a bad passive at the start, just continue, because you know, you never know. Might get something good. I'm not sure if some of these... I do understand that some of these bosses were probably in the story, but I don't understand why they're not event bosses, as it would... Even if they were literally just normal event bosses, like the Gallen's one the Gallen's nephew one we currently have. Like, it's just a cool boss. Like, it's something completely different. It's a little bit wacky, but why not? Because he has a full attack set. I'm guessing he has a full, like... Okay, no, he's just got... No, but it's fine. He's just got normal... He doesn't need to have a fancy ultimate. He just needs... He just needs to be... He's a cool-looking character. It's just a cool character. That's what you want. We just need these new bosses. Even if they're just rip-off, literally just taken straight out of Labyrinth, I'm completely fine with that. I'm 100% fine with them just taking all the bosses out of the Labyrinth and make them actual event bosses. Because they're cool. And recently, when I was looking at my channel, I realised that this Gallon event boss came back... I've done pretty much a guide for every event boss that's been out since I started doing daily. And it came out June 24th, that video came out, so... Probably a few days around there was when this boss was last out. Of course, you can also see I'm gaining this point, which is the stuff you normally used to buy stuff in the shop, in the Labyrinth shop. Can't literally buy anything. There's no shops, you just collect it for no reason. There probably is a use. Let's just say if you reset the Labyrinth and you want to go into it again, maybe you keep the points, which would be very nice. I have seen people, mainly in Nag's video, when he had the Ultimate 1 at this right at the start. I'm not sure what that is. I don't really care about playing the Labyrinth again. I've got the rewards. That's all that really matters to me. Some of these bosses are very cool. Like this boss here, there's probably a demon from the story, but it's a cool boss. Cool little boss. Well, recently I've been playing a lot of other like gacha style games, and what I've realized is that most other games have a unique tarot trial for either every race or every attribute. So what I thought would be cool, like a cool concept, is if they did something like that for this game. Like, I don't know, a tower trial where you can only use humans or you can only use demons, and it got harder and harder. What I mean harder and harder, I'm not like they've got like stupid passives where like you have to have like infinite crit defense for you to deal any damage. I mean like they just have normal stats that aren't super. They're just normal passives, not super inflated, and it just gets higher and higher and higher. Of course, there'll probably be cheese strats and stuff like that, but you know, I think it'd just be kind of cool. Just something new to the game. I don't know, make it so you get a certain buff for demons when you reach a certain floor. You know, stuff like just something to enable progression, I don't know how to explain it, but just a way to entice people to use certain races that are completely useless. For example, fairies. Fairies are completely useless, apart from King, Festival King, and the blue Elaine, which no one's going to pull on this banner because you don't guarantee her at the end. They just stuck her face on the banner and said, at the end of your 14 summons, you get 1 SSR. Good luck trying to pull anyone on the actual banner, because the rates are shocking. Like, bro, give us 6% on the banner at least. Just there's no one good on the banner. You know, Green Gotha isn't on there. He's a decent character. I think Green Gotha's a free character now anyway, but still. He's just going to attack Arthur because of type advantage. And Arthur has the least stats. We'll just do this, get some lifesteal with Arthur back, and we'll just kill the bottom. Like, Arthur can hit very hard. I think Arthur's crit chance is actually much higher. I do wish you could also like obtain relics. Oh my god, Escanor. I kind of wish you could also obtain relics on here. I don't know, like they make a square, so oh, you get a relic for one person or a team, and you get to select it. Or, you know, a stat buff, or something along the lines that makes it so it's like a unique buff for one character in your team. Or, ooh, everyone on your team. Let's just say everyone on your team that has a relic now has their relic. You know, just something cool, something a little cool like that. Because that means, you know, Escanor's, green Escanor's, and red Escanor's, their relic is for their defense. They get like, I'm not sure if it's, I want to say 200% or 50% of their I think it's like 50% of their defense as attack, which is pretty cool. That means if you get the defense passive, you get a lot of attack back. I'm pretty sure, also, I didn't mention this, I'm pretty sure Mael's 100k CC. I had like 99k once, and I got out CC'd, and next time I had like 105k and I out CC'd him. So it's around the 100 to 105k marker. This is the boss, by the way. Here's a whole like ultimate animation, really cool. This is a really cool boss at the end. That's cool. I actually got Barnes card. An extra Barn card is always very useful. The reason I don't have Barn on the left side is because moving his cards to get his ultimate is the best play. Get moral gauge instead of it just naturally merging. Escanor, I just let it naturally merge because it means that his card will have the increased ult gauge effect. Oh, we're going to do a lot of damage here. His cards are very cool. He does a lot of damage as well. 70k. Like, the only reason my Escanor's alive is because of all these HP buffs I've got. That's a lot of damage. Let's see what HP he's got. 500k. Okay, we're going to put the ultimate on. I'm going to do this. Hopefully we don't kill it. I do actually want to see the ultimate. Don't do it. Don't you dare do it. He's going to kill. He's going to kill. He's going to kill. He's going to kill. Bond, please don't. I want to see the ultimate, please. We killed it. So as you can see, it's very possible. Normally, it does take me more than that to kill it. Normally, I trigger the res on the second turn, but of course, RNG, got the barn cards. Getting barn cards is very good, very broken. But as you can see here, you get 56. I believe the final stage, that one there that I just completed, is the one that gives you the most. And of course, at the end, you get the hello, congratulations for completing it. You know, you can reset the labyrinth or start anew. You know, 15. If I hit reset, I can select go back here onto new. Like either, I believe the top one just allows you to start again, and the bottom one will be, hey, you can start from where you just left off. Yeah, challenge the underground labyrinth. Come here, start. There you go. My Arthur died against my L. There you go. Res of my L. Oh, sorry, Arthur. Continue. Now, if we go to the shop, you can see, you know, the reward I got. I'm now at 400. So I'm going to say for the SSR pendants, then probably, yeah, I'll just get everything in the shop eventually. I would recommend probably getting the card first, especially if you're struggling, because the card is probably the most useful thing there. Diamonds are good, don't get me wrong, but you can obtain diamonds in so many different ways. But that card is unique, and I'm guessing it's going to be here every season, or are they going to change it every season? But then if they change it every season, are they then going to add it somewhere else? Because or will they just add more cards every season? So this card will be here this season. The next season, it'll be this card plus something else. You know, just sort of try and keep it fresh. I know they did try and make this replayable, but just adding a few rewards and a replayable final stage bit is not the way to get people to do it. Of course, I do like this labyrinth more than the other one. The other one was way more painful. I'm not going to say would I say... they count this as a season 3 of the labyrinth. It's actually season 2. Season 3, this is the second season, sorry, was the Rising of the Shield Hero one, which is pretty cool now I think about it. Like, they can say season 2 was the Rising of the Shield Hero one. You know, they give it a fancy name now, like to make it sound unique. It's not unique. There was no unique reward. Literally just normal labyrinth, but with Rising of the Shield Hero characters. I would like to see a unique reward at the end, maybe an outfit or some way to say I completed the labyrinth. Because yeah, it's fun. You get the diamonds at the end, but there's no. Well, and the card. So the card, there is a card set you can get from the reward, which is, if I go to artifacts, is it scene? Here, this one. This is the labyrinth card, which has also got very good stats as well. But this is the main reason you would do labyrinth. A whale might not even look at labyrinth thinking, yeah, no, I don't really want to do it. Or they might do it just for the card, the other card, the new card. But if you add like I don't know, like a really cool outfit, people will try and do it, because some people just look at it and think, nah, I can't be able to do that so long. It's like, because it takes a few hours. If you're unlucky, it can take you a few hours. Or it can be like when I did the Season 1 of Labyrinth on my JP account back in the day, did it in like 40 minutes. But just wish they just make it just a little bit, you know, something else to do. That's cool artwork though. And of course I'll show you the new card as well, which is this one. Very cool, very good stats. I just wish I could have showed you guys the ultimate, but of course you can probably find it somewhere else on YouTube, or I'll just have another video of me, of the boss, because I will be, of course, farming it again, so it's not like it's a one-time thing. But anyway, thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.